to stop right now. This match is not going to happen. I was sitting up there in Dallas, Texas, and I saw that the UWF was having a big one-night tournament, and I waited for my invitation, and it never showed up. Can you imagine not having a tournament with the one-man gang in it? Well, I know inside of me, I would be the new UWF champion right now, because I can beat that man, and I know I can beat this man. You just shut up. Duggan, I've been chasing you all around this country. I've sent in letters challenging you, and you have never answered me one time, so I had to come down to Houston, Texas myself. I'm challenging you right now. Whoever wins this belt right now, I want a title match because I know I can beat him, and I hope it's you, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you punk.
The match is between Gordy and Hacksaw, man. It's not between you. You got no business out here.
Hey, gang. If you're looking for me, if you want me, make your move.
Well, Hacksaw Duggan asked him to, and he did it. The one-man gang made his move and went after Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the finals of the UWF Championship Tournament. The one-man gang, unbeknownst to everyone, came into the ring and challenged both Gordy and Duggan. But Michael Hayes was there to help stop Gordy from going into the ring against him. Duggan had just gotten out of a match where he had been thrown into the steel ring post. He had lost a lot of blood, and he came out to the match and wanted to wrestle anyway. And then this brawl broke out. Hacksaw Jim Duggan has always had a temper problem, and he's not about to let the one-man gang stand out and call him a punk. And Duggan throws the one-man gang into the steel ring post, and that in itself probably would have finished off the regular wrestler, the regular athlete. But the one-man gang is a phenomenal person. He is incredibly large, as you can see, 450 pounds. And he lays into Duggan and keeps hammering him, even though he's been thrown into that steel ring post. Now, the one-man gang retaliates here and throws Duggan into the ring post. Hacksaw Jim Duggan suffered 27 stitches from that one, and a concussion infection that swelled up his entire face. The one-man gang attacking Jim Duggan. At this point, many people felt like Hacksaw Jim Duggan would probably have to forfeit his match against Gordy, but Duggan is a phenomenal athlete. He retired the North American title that night, undefeated as the North American champion. So he wanted to go ahead and try and regain that UWF championship and continue his reign as the #1 man in the UWF. The one-man gang are having a devastating battle right now. Duggan severely lacerated, the one-man gang severely lacerated, and both these two men are hammering away at one another. Duggan has been through a hard night of wrestling action. He's already wrestled 3 matches. The one-man gang stuck around in the same Houston Coliseum without letting anyone know of his presence, and came to challenge the champion. Kind of a cheap way to get to the finals. I guess the one-man gang feels as if he could have made it there with no problem. I'm sure he might have been in contention, but just coming into the finals to challenge the champion, or challenge the 2 contenders rather, is not the way to go about it. Hacksaw Duggan, as you can see, his forehead badly lacerated, both men bleeding severely. Duggan catches the one-man gang with a hard forearm and sends him out on the floor. Now watch this. Duggan and the gang are just blasting one another. Duggan hammers the gang with a chair. Fires referee Carl Fergie out of the way and takes out the cameraman even. Duggan and the gang are just blistering each other with chairs, fists, anything they can get their hands on. The referees are powerless to stop this. You can imagine 750 pounds of beef out there hammering one another has got to be tough to stop. The Gang with a big body slam puts Duggan down and goes for the splash. He is trying to take Duggan out of contention, but Duggan gets out of the way. Duggan is fighting the Gang. The spear. Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the spear. He knocks the one-man Gang out, but Duggan, severely lacerated, beaten, and completely spent, is in a bad way and certainly in no condition to start into this final match against Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Michael Hayes and Gordy could sense it already. They're already asking for a disqualification. We'll have more on this situation in just a moment, but first this from Jim Ross.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Power Pro Wrestling. I'm Jim Ross. Thank you so very much for being with us. We've got a tremendous program for you here today. We're going to hear a statement in just a few moments from Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We're also going to see Dr. S.D. Williams in action. We're going to see a Terry Gordy montage, some highlights featuring the UWF Heavyweight Champion. We're also going to see the missing link in action in this hour of Power Pro Wrestling, also the Fantastics, and we'll see Hacksaw Jim Duggan's matchup from the Sam Houston Coliseum in the big UWF tournament against 400-pound Kamala. We also have a video on the Fantastics. It's going to be a great hour for you. And right now, without any more delay, let's hear these comments from a very emotional Hacksaw Duggan.
Now all you folks know what happened in Houston with the UWF title. Oh, Hacksaw Duggan had a battle, Buddy Roberts had a battle, Kamala. One-man Gang come down, run my head into the post, put a wound in my head that you could put your hand into. Well, they gave me 5 minutes to get my composure back. 5 minutes is all I had.
As it started, this is not fair for Duggan. He shouldn't even be wrestling, Paul. I don't think he should even be wrestling here.
He doesn't look at it from my viewpoint either, but right now, as they go over there and move, there'll be plenty of people who will be willing to take his place, I'll bet.
Well, we got Grizzly Smith here and Joe Watts. We've got to make a decision.
I
want the money and I want the belt now.
You won't get the money and you won't get the belt until this man is on his feet. We're going to see right now what has happened to
Terry Gordy, Michael Hayes, he's come too far. He's in the finals. If my father were here, I know he'd sanction this. We're going to give him 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's all we want. 5 minutes. He gets 5 minutes.
Well, matchmaker Grizzly Smith and Joe.
5 minutes is all I had. I went back to the dressing room. They were trying to bandage me up. They were trying to stop the bleeding. The Texas Wrestling Athletic Commission was screaming, he can't go back out. The UWF officials were screaming, he can't go back out. All I knew that my 5 minutes were up, and I stood up, and I went for that door. And just before I got to the door, I felt a big, hard, strong grip on my arm. And I pulled around and looked through all the blood, through all the sweat, and I looked into the eyes of my friend Steve Dr. Death Williams, and he said, Jim, don't go out there. And I said, Doc, you're my best friend in the world, but if you don't get your hands off me, we're going to have to fight right here, because I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop. Just stuff that gray matter back in my head. Just tape it back up, and I'm going to go on. Well, I went back down to the ring, and by the time I got there, the place was spinning. All the screaming was just a dull echo in the back of my head. I got to the edge of the ring. I was kind of bewildered. I didn't know exactly what to do. And then Terry Gordy reached down over that ring post and pulled me up. All I knew that I was being beaten. All I knew that I was being hurt. And all I had left was my fighting instinct. And I started to come up. And I started to fight. And the people started to come with me. And I knew that I could beat them. I knew I'd be the new UWF heavyweight champ.
I don't see how he can even get back to his feet. He has no business being here. He's a shell of himself. He's fighting back on guts.
Wait a minute.
He's got guts.
He got that wallop in, and he'll get another one. Hacksaw Duggan against Terry Gordy, and he's got Gordy backing up. He's knocking him back. He is knocking him over, and Terry Gordy has caught the full force of Hacksaw Duggan, and the Hacksaw is sensational as these fans roar their approval of his efforts to batter Terry Gordy out of that dream of becoming the UWF champion here and now.
Duggan had one stomp. Duggan with a spear.
And he just crashed into him there with that spear that has defeated so many top men. But Duggan is on the outside of the ring. He has come in now. And what a climax to a sensational tournament. And here is Duggan. Duggan is ready. He is set to go. And Duggan through the ropes, not over the ropes, through the ropes, but there are no disqualifications here. And the referee trying to keep Gordy away. And here is Michael Hayes.
That's sickening.
Adding his weight to this incident here. Remember, this is a no disqualification match.
A very good point. It is no.
The referee's hands are tied. We have stretched the rules for both of them.
But somehow I end up outside the ring, and Michael Freebird P.S. Prissy Sissy Hayes runs my head into the turnpost, throws me back in the ring, and Gordy just finished me off. Well, it's not over. It's not over by a long shot, tough guys.